Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's tutorial will be my first tutorial using the MakeupGeek and MannyMUA palette. I will be doing 3 tutorials in total using this palette. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this reddish, cranberry, cat-eyed, I don't even know what to call it look, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so I'm picking up my MakeupGeek times MannyMUA palette. So beautiful. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up the palette and I'm gonna mix together this color right here, which is Beaches and Cream. This is one of the normal MakeupGeek shadows. You can get this on its own. You don't have to get the palette. And I'm gonna mix in some Artemis, which is this really pretty, like shimmery white color. I don't wanna just use Artemis because I don't want my brow bone to be like too shiny. I want it to be like highlighted, but I don't want it to be like, I don't want my brow bone to be the star of the show. Like, that's a weird star of the show, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight my brow bone. Just up against the brow bone. And I have already primed my eyes with concealer and set that with some translucent powder. So again, I'm just putting this red on my brow bone. I'm not dragging it down to my crease or anything because, like I said, I already set it with some powder. So I wanted something a little bit more like reddish today. I love anything like red. It's like my jam. So I'm gonna take this color right here in the center of the palette. This is called Sora. And I'm just using my Morphe M502 brush. I'm gonna go into that, and it's gonna be our transition shade. So I'm just gonna start to apply this right into my crease. Ooh. This color is so beautiful, so warm. Yes, 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 yes. So I'm going from the outermost corner of my eye all the way to the innermost corner. Sorry, those are my little dogs running around, their little feet on the wood floor. And I'm gonna say my favorite thing to say. I'm gonna create a nice smoky halo effect around my eye. Whatever's left over on the brush, I'm kind of just swirling it in this little area in here. I've just been really into like putting eyeshadow in here. I don't know, I just like it. Just to make everything look nice and blended and seamless. So as you can see, I have the most product right in my crease, and I very lightly blended it up toward my brow bone, so it kind of ombres from more intense product to less intense product as it comes up. Once I see that the brush isn't depositing any more color, I'm literally gonna like swirl this little circular motions on my brow bone so that it blends nice and seamlessly into that Artemis and Beaches and Cream mixture that we put on our brow bone. So it's nice and blended. On to the other side. If you're a little bit more fair, this may not work as a transition color for you because as you can see, it's not the lightest color in the world. So I would probably suggest going in with Beaches and Cream first and then going in with this, and it's just gonna help to blend it out better and not look so harsh on your beautiful fair skin. Right, good? As of right now, this is my favorite color on the palette. And it is this red color right here called Mars. It's super duper red, like it's red. So we're gonna go into this, and I'm using my Morphe M504 brush. And I'm just gonna kind of start to wash this across my eye, kind of similar to what I did in my last tutorial, that I kind of put it on the outer edge and then flick it in using that same technique. I'm starting on my lid. And then once I see that the brush isn't really depositing so much product, I'm gonna start to blend it into the lower part of my crease. This is beautiful, it's so pigmented. I'm actually gonna swirl my brush around here. You should do it like on a tissue or like on like one of these things, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm doing it on my pants. I don't know, I just always do it there. I'm gonna start to blend this. Sometimes when I feel like my brush has too much product on it, I'll just kind of clean off the brush, swirl it around on something, and then just keep on using it for blending. It's no big deal. No big deal. I'm actually putting this color pretty much all over my lid area, like completely. and then blending it up into my crease so it blends nice and seamlessly. So basically I'm applying this right on top of that Sora color, but I'm just trying to keep it a little bit lower than the Sora color. And I'm using this big fluffy brush because it's really gonna help to blend it all out. And I don't wanna apply this too heavily on my eye. So this is gonna help to apply a nice soft application to really give me a lot of control as to how much I'm building it up. I'm taking this in all the way towards my inner tear duct. As you can see, I have the most product on the outer edge, but I am dragging it in all the way. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of a smaller brush. This is my Morphe M330, and I'm gonna go into that same color, that Mars color. I'm putting a tiny, like the tiniest dab on my brush, and I'm just gonna get in here because that other brush that I was using was a little bit too big and it was starting to make it really messy. So I'm just gonna use this because my eyelid is looking a little bit patchy right now. Like the outer edge, I don't know if you can see, it's looking a little patchy. So I'm just gonna kind of use this to pack on a little bit more color to get rid of that patchiness. So just to clean up the edges of my eyeshadow, I'm actually taking a little bit of Beaches and Cream. I already did it on this side. This is just Beaches and Cream on a flat brush, and I'm literally just, that's it, to help clean it up, because I did already apply like my foundation, my concealer, and everything. So if you ever see that your makeup is like, you already did your face and your makeup is like getting a little cray-cray, all you have to do is take a lighter color, like something almost like your skin color, and a little flat brush, and you can use that to clean up edges. Nice little trick, right? I'm gonna take this tiny little brush. This is my Morphe M506. And I'm gonna go into the color Aphrodite, which is this really nice, like dark brown color. It kind of has like a little bit of a, reddish undertone to it. Not too much, but it's got a little bit. I'm gonna close my eye, and I'm just gonna start to wash this on the outermost corner of my eye. Just to add a little bit of depth. I like this brush for this because this brush is very soft. It's not very dense. So it gives me a lot of control with how much product I'm applying at a time. And like, for example, something like this, I really don't want to apply too much product. I'm actually going to switch over to my Morphe M507, which is basically the same brush except it's tapered. So it's like pointy. I don't know if you can see that. It's like pointy on the tip. And I'm going to start doing the same thing. But now what I'm going to do, since it's pointy, I'm going to floop. And I'm going to kind of like create like a soft like wing-like effect right there. And then use whatever's left over on the brush to kind of just like blend that. Just blend that off. It's soft. I'm really keeping a majority of the product closest to my lash line. So it almost looks like an eyeliner type effect, but like, you know, not really. Soft. This is soft. Using my Morphe M502, this is the first brush that I started with. I'm kind of just gonna fluff over all this stuff to get rid of any like weird lines that I might have there. I'm really avoiding the wing. As you can see, I'm really just blending in my crease and on my lid, and I'm avoiding the outermost edge because I don't want to mess up any of that sharp wing that I worked so hard to create. Going back into the palette now, I'm gonna pick up the color Cosmopolitan. Oh, I love this color. This color isn't like only in this palette. You can just order this color from MakeupGeek if you want. But I don't know why, I just like, this color so freaking pretty. So I'm gonna start to apply this right up towards my lash line. So I'm starting like right where that brown eyeshadow ends up against my lash line. I'm using my Morphe M169. This is a great brush for packing on product in small areas. So I actually went ahead and spritzed my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus just to help to intensify this shadow a little bit more. I want it to almost look like I have like this dark brown eyeshadow when it's ombreing into this nice glittery peachy eyeshadow. So what I'm really trying to do is create the effect of like kind of like an ombre winged liner. I'm trying to get it to go from this dark smoky liner to kind of ombre into like this really pretty like peachy glittery color. That's why I'm packing it on so close to my lash line and taking it right to where that brown kind of like begins, so that they meet in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into the color Mars, that really pretty, like this really pretty reddish color, and I'm using that little tapered Morphe brush, the M507. I really love this brush, I don't know if you've noticed. And I'm gonna start working on my lower lash line, so I'm just gonna start to drag this through. See, I like how it's tapered because it's allowing me to apply a very small amount of product, and this red color can get very intense very quickly. So when you're working with these bright colors or these like really intense colors, I love having like small brushes because it really gives you a lot of control with how much product you are applying, and it just makes your life so much easier. Okay, so now that I've applied it all through my lash line from the outermost corner all the way to the innermost corner, using whatever's left over on the brush, I'm gonna start to flick it up right underneath of like that wing-like type effect that I made, so that it all kind of like blends. Yeah, nice and blended. So now I'm picking up my Morphe M506, which is the same as the M507, just not tapered. It's a very little brush. And I'm gonna go back into that color Sora that we used in our crease when we first started. And I'm gonna apply this right underneath of the Mars color just to help blend it out so we don't have such a harsh line under our eye. A lot of times we like to like skip this step because we're just like, oh, we don't really need to do that, we're being lazy. But it's the little details that make such a difference in your makeup. Like taking those 2 extra seconds to do these little extra steps really do make the biggest difference, guys. I'm serious. It's all in the detail. So now going back into that Aphrodite color, I'm just using like a little flat brush, and I'm gonna start to press this into my lash line. I'm just keeping it like on the outer third of my lash line because I want it to look really deep on the outer corners, but I don't want it to be too deep. Because if I take it all the way across my lash line, it's just gonna change the entire look. I want it to stay looking kind of like cat-eyed. So I'm just gonna keep this on the outermost corner. And then I'm gonna take that same little Morphe brush and just blend those edges. So it's not like a harsh line across my lash. So now for my waterline, I'm gonna use the ColourPop eyeliner in the color Get Paid. This is one of my favorite eyeliners like ever. I love these ColourPop eyeliners. They're like so pigmented, it's crazy. And this is almost like the same color as the Cosmopolitan color that's up against our lash line, so it matches perfect. I'm actually going to take that same little Morphe brush and go into Cosmopolitan, like super close up against my lash line, right underneath at the top. Where we put that on the top, I want it to kind of mirror on the bottom lash line. So I'm just gonna put this right there. And then do the same as the other side. Just right in that area. I need to keep it. Oh. Oh my god. This fucking camera, bro, it's like constant. So now for my inner tear duct, I'm gonna pick up Artemis, which is that really pretty white color. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pop a little bit of that right there. Okay, so I went ahead and threw on some lashes. They are Dell 207 lashes. I've really been feeling these little babies lately. They're like double up lashes, super nice. So I already contoured my face just a tad. I didn't want to do anything too crazy. So I'm just gonna apply some blush and some highlight. So let's highlight first. So since I've got this Cosmo color that's like really peachy looking on my eyes, and I've got that whole thing going on, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop, because it's kind of more of like a peachy champagne gold, rose gold, if you will. So I'm just gonna put that on my brush. Highlight away. Haven't used this in forever. Ooh. Put a little bit on top of my brows, top of the highest point of my eyebrows, just to give a little bit more of a lift. Tip of my nose, ooh. And Cupid's bow. So now for blush, I actually just recently picked up some of these Wet n Wild blushes. I got 3 colors, but I think I'm going to use this one called, what's it called? Called Rose Champagne. It's so pretty. I've heard such good things about the formula of these Wet n Wild blushes, and I actually swatched this, like all of them, all the ones that I got, and they swatched, oh my god, they're like super buttery. So this is what Rose Champagne looks like. It's like really glittery. Well, it's not glittery. It's got like a sheen. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little nosy smile. Ooh. Yes, this is pretty. Wow, this is beautiful. Yes, Wet n Wild. So now that that's on, I'm just going to take my stipling brush and kind of blend all that. Because you kind of stay with like the area where you can see where you start applying your blush. So I just like to take my clean stipling brush and just do little swirly motions to make sure everything is nice and blended and we don't have those weird like circle blush cheeks, like not cute. Very nice. Okay, so now let's move on to lips. I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips with the MAC lip liner in the color Oak. So now that my lips are lined, I'm gonna go ahead and use the ColourPop liquid lipstick in the color Platform. It's like a really pretty like peach nude color. So this here is the final look, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you found it helpful. I hope that you enjoyed my first tutorial using the MannyMUA palette. I will be doing 2 more tutorials using this palette. So if you're interested in seeing the other 2 tutorials coming that I will be doing with this palette, then just go ahead and subscribe to my channel. If you liked this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.